What's up, you guys? It's Steve here. And for those of you that are concerned that we're not going to have any more stimulus and things are going to fall apart, well, we just received confirmation over the weekend on a global scale that there will continue to be stimulus, as we saw the G7 come together and announce that they will be providing more stimulus to all of their countries. And included in there was President Joe Biden and the United States. Now, in addition to that, I do want to share with you guys a clip that came out recently where some people said that it wasn't a big deal and some people said it was embarrassing. Something that unfolded with President Joe Biden on the global stage. So you guys, let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think. Was this a big deal or not? But in addition to that, we're also going to be taking a look at how stimulus is going to be unfolding here in the United States. As I let you know in the previous video, we saw 10 members of Congress come together and put a new proposal on the table for the infrastructure bill that will provide more stimulus. Now, in addition to that, we also now have the 58 members of the Problem Solvers Caucus assembling a new proposal as well. So there's a new push to get a bipartisan agreement on stimulus here very soon. Now, while all this is happening, we also have Senator Bernie Sanders in the background saying he's just waiting for these talks to fall apart. He doesn't think they're going to go anywhere, and he is readying the process of reconciliation and all the provisions that he believes should be included in this bill. And as you guys know, one of those provisions is for social infrastructure, which will provide more money in the form of possibly stimulus checks, extended child tax credits, and other provisions that they believe will help families through this economic crisis. So you guys, I'm going to dive into all these articles and these video clips, get you caught up on the latest with what's happening with stimulus as of today, June 14th, 2021. But before we do, if you could do me a quick favor, just takes a second. If you like and appreciate these updates, don't forget to destroy the like button, leave your comments down below, and share this out if you think it's going to help out other people. And if this is your first time here and you want to stay up to date on all this stuff, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, and follow me on Instagram at SteveRam3. That's the best place to shoot me any specific questions you got. But with that being said, you guys, let's go ahead and dive right in. So over the weekend, we saw the G7 come together. And for those of you who aren't familiar with that, it's pretty much the 7 richest nations in the world. And they were discussing their economies, stimulus, inflation, interest rates, and what they'd like to see unfold. And we have an agreement. All of them have said they're going to be coming together and providing more stimulus to their countries. Now, I'm going to be diving into the article in just a second. But first, I want to share with you this clip, and I want to get your thoughts on it. This has been circulating around the internet. And what we have is Prime Minister of UK, Boris Johnson, introducing several presidents to the table, and he introduces the President of South Africa. And well, President Joe Biden, he's sitting right next to him and either wasn't paying attention or he didn't hear him. And he reminds him to introduce the President of South Africa, to which Boris Johnson responds and says, I already did. Now, several people are saying that this is kind of embarrassing on a global platform to do this, to show that you're not paying attention. And other people are saying it's not a big deal. It was an honest mistake and you're making a mountain out of a molehill. But this has been circulating, so I wanted to share it with you. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And then we're going to dive into the article where we're hearing that they all have agreed to provide more stimulus.
And just say how pleased I am to welcome those who have just joined us, bringing some pretty spectacular weather with them. Prime Minister Modi, President Ramaphosa, President Moon, in just a minute,
and the President of South Africa,
and the President of South Africa, as I said earlier.
Oh, you did.
I certainly did.
But you get to mention twice.
So I'll go over that again. Let me tell you, we're delighted. Mr. President, I'm glad to say we're joined by Prime Minister Modi of India, who's on the line.
So there you have it. Let me know your thoughts. Big deal or not really so much. Either way, this is circulating around the internet. But let's go ahead and dive into this article and let you know what unfolded in that meeting. Now, this article says G7 leaders agreed to keep the money taps open, source. And it says leaders of the group of 7 rich nations were in broad agreement about the need to continue supporting their economies with fiscal stimulus after the ravages of the pandemic. Now, the backing for more stimulus was shared by all leaders, including Angela Merkel of Germany, which traditionally opposes heavy borrowing to spur growth. Now, the administration of the United States, President Joe Biden, he has been pushing allies to keep spending alongside with Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, who has urged the G7 colleagues back in February saying, go big. Now, there was broad consensus across the table on continued support for fiscal expansion at this current stage. Now, there was a bit of discussion about inflation, but the feeling was that it would be temporary. And as you guys know, inflation is hitting. The costs of goods and services across the nation are increasing, and they're saying this is actually happening on a global scale. However, they're saying they believe that this is only temporary, it will only last for a little while, and then it will subside. Now, G7 leaders stress the importance of taking action to reduce unemployment, such as retraining and offering support to younger workers. Now, at the opening of the meeting, Johnson said that leaders needed to be careful not to, quote, repeat the mistakes of the last great crisis, the last big economic recession of 2008, when the recovery was not uniform across all parts of society. So they want to make sure that they're helping out everybody. And the importance of the G7 coming together is that all nations together provide more stimulus. So that way one particular country isn't just pouring stimulus into their economy, devaluing their currency while the others stay the same. They want to agree to all do this together, work together, pouring stimulus in and causing inflation evenly across the board. But with that being said, we now have a promise on a global scale that there will be more stimulus in the United States. Now, how that's going to come about, though, that's still yet to be seen. As you guys saw in the previous video, we have 10 members of Congress that have put together an agreement. But in addition to that, we saw this. Take a look at this. Congress's most successful bipartisan gang lives in the House, not in the Senate. A few dozen House members helped bring a bipartisan talks back from the dead on a massive spending bill passed 6 months ago. Now they want to do it again in President Joe Biden's Washington. This is the bipartisan 58-member coalition known as the Problem Solvers Caucus. And they took something of a half-court buzzer shot this week by releasing their own version of the infrastructure deal. So they're putting together their own proposal as well, determined to keep talks alive between the president and Senate Republicans at least a bit longer before Democrats bound toward their own party line bill. And as you guys know, one of those people is Senator Bernie Sanders, who's saying he doesn't think anything's going to come of this, and he's getting ready for the process of reconciliation. We're going to be discussing that here in just a second. Now, the Problem Solvers Caucus, they can commit to 58 votes in the House for their proposal. And since the full caucus has agreed to vote for anything that is endorsed by 75% of their caucus, that would guarantee a block of GOP votes that could win big for Democrats, who have struggled to find any cross-the-aisle support for even the least contentious bills this year. So unlike that group of 10 that they don't really have enough support, well, this one, there's enough where they could push this through. However, the article says that this doesn't ensure passage. While support for a few dozen Republican votes would make up for the Democratic deflections, it might not be enough if there's a large-scale opposition on the left. And we actually have a quote here from Pamela Jayapal. And if that name sounds familiar, it's because she's one of the people that has put together the proposal that she wants monthly stimulus checks to start coming out in the ABC Act, which would provide $1,000 monthly checks until the pandemic's done and then even 1 year after. And she said, I literally don't see a path to getting 10 Republicans and not losing a whole bunch of Democrats. Now, while Jayapal said that she had not reviewed the Problem Solvers' full infrastructure framework, she said any bipartisan deal must be accompanied by a sprawling Democrats-only bill passed using the filibuster protections of the budget process, with priorities such as climate change, housing, and childcare included. Those two things have to go together. We don't necessarily know that the momentum would stay high for the rest of the package, she said. So in other words, they're saying that they have certain things they want to include, they need it included, otherwise forget bipartisan talks. So we're going to see here, and one of the people saying that this is just pretty much a waste of time is Senator Bernie Sanders. Take a look at this. Why Bernie's not sweating White House's infrastructure dance with the GOP. And it says, as liberals increasingly rebuke President Joe Biden for his ongoing negotiations with bipartisan groups of senators, one prominent progressive lawmaker is staying out of the fray. That is, Senator Bernie Sanders, one of the biggest names in the nation's progressive politics, has not expressed concern about clean energy policies not making it into the finer infrastructure bill. Nor is he among those that have loudly criticized the White House for ongoing talks with GOP lawmakers. That's because as a group of Republican and Democratic senators are trying to craft that bipartisan deal, which we just discussed, Sanders is working in the background, helping jumpstart the next reconciliation package that seems likely to serve as a fallback option. And the text of that bill has yet to be written. So he's amongst those that are saying he doesn't think anything's going to go anywhere with his bipartisan talks. And he's just saying he's just getting things ready for when they fall apart to have the reconciliation bill ready. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. So you guys, that is the latest on stimulus. There will be more. It has been promised and confirmed on a global scale. Now, in addition to that, as we get more information about the provisions that will be included, I'll be sure to keep you guys up to date here on the channel. And also, if you want to know the latest about the tax refunds, I'll be sure to release more videos as we're hearing that there's going to be a new wave hitting this month. And also, we saw 4 states in the United States end federal provisions of unemployment early. That included PUA, PEUC, and the $300 per week boost. And there's going to be more this weekend as well. I'll be sure to keep you guys up to date on all these topics. And once again, if you like and appreciate this, don't forget to smash the like button, leave your comments, share this out, hit the subscribe button if you're not already part of the viewing community. Come and join the Ram fam. Follow me on Instagram at SteveRam3. Get some free stocks and cryptos in the links in the description below. And if you want to see what stocks or cryptos I'm trading in real time, don't forget to join that Patreon group. But with that being said, you guys, hope this reaches you well. I'll be sure to keep you up to date, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.